Hello collective, welcome back to another video. It's a pleasure to see you again, and if you're new here, my name's Yasmin. I'm a psychic medium, and in this week's video we're going to be talking about the element of fire in history, traditions, and culture. We are reaching this point on the earth where more souls are awakening, and so we need, each and every one of us, again, regardless of where we're at in our spiritual journey, to feel a connection to what is happening with this shift. And in order for us to feel that connection, we are going to each individually be humbled and grounded into the present moment. We will each be called to remember what we've been created with, which are our senses, and to connect back to this earth, to the material plane, in a way that allows us to now heal earth moving forward. And this is what's happening on the earth, slowly, as more people awaken, the earth is beginning to heal more and more. And this is the whole point of why we're here. It's not just to advance our souls, but it's also to give back to this earthly dimension that has given to us and contributed to our school, right? Our soul's evolution. So as above, so below is what I'm hearing. I love when my guides tend to, it seems like this is something that they keep bringing in each video more recently as sort of like a memo, like, okay, and so it's begun. Just remember where you're at right now in your life, and that, we're always going to continue to be learning. We're always going to be eternal students. There was a time on the earth, some of you may recall from previous lives or just from, movies, history books, there was a time on the earth where electricity didn't exist, my friends, and we did rely very heavily on fire. There's a number of significances to fire across different cultures and religions and societies across time. Fire really started within the early, almost 1.7 million years ago. It contributed to human evolution. It became the evolutionary aspect of us to not only have warmth and protection, but to allow us to cook. Symbolism is not only representative of life, even though it seemed to cause harm and destruction, it's representative of the phoenix rising, a sort of rebirth, purity, cleanliness. And across different cultures, we find that fire is actually contributing to that. In Greek mythology, it is said that Prometheus stole the fire from the heavens to be able to give to humanity, which was a symbol of enlightenment and knowledge. Hinduism, the sacred fire, otherwise known as Agni, again, was always lit in temples, and it was used for rituals and ceremonies. In European pagan traditions, fire was lit to basically represent cleansing and purification and rebirth, and it was used during equinoxes and solstices. So there's many different aspects of fire. And there's a couple other examples that I have where Zoroastrians, apparently they worshipped fire as a pure and eternal source. They were always burning in the temples. And then we've got kind of the Olympic flame in ancient Greece, representing unity and continuity. So fire tends to have this element of spiritual enlightenment, of cleansing. The Native Americans used it, the Arabs used it. The earliest, every civilization actually on earth has had some type of connection to the use of fire as an element of providing light in a space of darkness, but also as a way of cooking, of cleaning, of purifying. And it is representative of this rebirth, of this renewal. And even though on one perceptionary level we see the destruction that it causes, a lot of us associate fire with, hell, right? That dimensional plane where it's just fire burning constantly and harming. And while that is very much true, fire can do that. It can also be used in the flip side of not necessarily being perceived in that negative way. We always have to see both sides of the coin, but in the sense of what it's been used and how it's been used throughout history, right? It's obviously with the most beginner example, starting with the earliest humans using it, that first human being seeing that spark of fire, realizing what it can do, is almost like the introduction of this element to them that now changes everything. Because on the one hand, they might have already experienced water. On the one hand, they are already coexisting with the air element. But then you throw in fire and it's like, okay, wow, this has the potential to provide something next level for my physical space, right? And so the other elements carry space and hold space in terms of your relation with where you live and what you need, whereas fire is something on the outside that is kind of providing an element of your physical material comfortability, if you will. In literature and art, it's almost perceived as passionate, right? As enlightenment, as resilient. So you see this overlap with the different aspects of how fire is presented in society and what it can do, and it sort of changes your perspective and the way that you use fire. And the intention that is coming with these videos is not just to teach, but hopefully you can take what I'm sharing and use it to your benefit. Flip the way that you think, because the way that we think is so pivotal now more than ever, where things are materializing very quickly, especially for those of you who are becoming more and more aware of who you are, more conscious of your background, of your upbringing, more conscious of what you now need to let go, who you once were, who you are, who you feel and see yourself becoming. And so with that evolution comes the need to tap in more. And you can tap in not only by going within, tuning into your mind gut connection, that third eye, that intuition, but also with the physical plane through use of the elements. Fire has been used by traditional healers to cleanse physical tools like medical tools, herbal tools. Doctors used it back then as well. Fire was used to clean and sterilize. And so we need to understand that there's always these different aspects of the elements that have a way of contributing to our ability to survive in life. And when you know those benefits, you're able to know that if there were ever a time on the earth where all the things that you have today that have allowed you to live a more efficient lifestyle, if those things were taken away, you at least have the skin on your back and the awareness and the knowledge of how to use what's already present on the earth around you, and your two hands to be able to create something out of that. There's different ways that you are using it every single day. And if it's not physically, you can perceive it and see it as using the energy of fire, right? That passion, that creativity that I was saying that comes with, a lot of literature and art that represents fire. That fire energy can be used to ignite, you see where I'm going there, something within you, to create something. So as within, so without, as above, so below. What can you do with this element that is both a symbolism of destruction and creativity? How can you use it to clear your space, to create a new? And so if we can see this now and understand that it exists, it's just doing what it's doing, it moves on its own and flows as it is, then we can understand that ultimately it has a place in transforming something in my life, and this must mean that there's some type of transformation that I am coming across. So no matter how the element of fire graces your life, whether it's in a destructive way or in a creative way, whatever that looks like for you, change your perception around it and see it as this was something that the first humans discovered that helped them evolve, and this is where we are today. If it didn't start with that discovery of fire, we would not be where we are today. And seeing its presence across culture, its use in our daily life, you start to appreciate and understand this particular element, because you realize that it actually holds a lot of value in the way that humans are running our lives, the way that we experience, the way that we use technology, the way that we eat, the way that we feel comfortable in our homes, in our spaces, the clothes that we wear. Fire is required to use that. There's endless, infinite amount of examples that I can provide as to its benefits. And so there's no reason to fear fire. Yes, it does cause destruction in some places, and it is very unfortunate when it does. But remember that the phoenix rises from the ashes. The phoenix, representative of the fire energy, something that can be ignited within you, it rises from the ashes. And fire, taking away something, is always a symbolism of transformation, of a rebirth. Again, just remember the phoenix rising from the ashes. So a little bit of channeling as well kind of came through in this video, I feel. And I do want to just thank all of you who are tuning in, who have subscribed, new subscribers. Let me know if anything that I have been posting resonates with you, what comes through for you. There's going to be a lot more content around this element for the next 3 months, as I've mentioned. So stick around, stay curious. Let me know if you've got any questions in the comments down below, and share this video if it has provided value or you find that it will be helpful to someone that you know. Sending love and light, guys, and until next time, go and grow.